this works like a pinball machine. You're going to pull all the way back on this handle, and then you just let go to break the glass, okay? Dia's going to break the annealed glass first, and you'll have a close-up view on the monitor. Go right ahead, all the way back and let go. Perfect. Annealed, and kind of fun, right? Annealed glass breaks in a familiar way. If you've ever dropped a drinking glass or accidentally thrown something through a window, you end up with sharp shards. They're different sizes and shapes, and they're flying off in all directions because of the impact. Now, annealed glass is really common, and it's really useful, and it breaks into sharp pieces. So it's probably not the glass we'd want for something like a car windshield. If that glass breaks while you're driving, you don't want the shards flying toward you. So for that, they use the laminated. You can go ahead with that one. Nice. So laminated or safety glass, and you can see why it's called safety glass. That layer of plastic is holding the shards together. So that's the glass that's used for car windshields to keep the shards from flying into the car if there's an impact. Bullet-resistant glass, that's another interesting type of laminated glass, but it has more layers, multiple layers of glass and plastic together. Thermally tempered, remember this is the one, very impact resistant, 5 times stronger than the annealed glass. Still breaks really well in our case though. That's because here at the Glass Breaking Show, we are determined to break all the glass. And we make sure that really strong piece of glass breaks by putting a sharp point on the end of that particular hammer. Because remember, compression on the surface is making it impact resistant. So I pounded on it really hard and it wouldn't break. But when Dia scratched through the surface with the pointy hammer, now we're down into the fragile tension area. And tempered glass breaks in a very recognizable way. You can see a pattern there of cubes. And then look at the edges. These are relatively square. They're not nearly as sharp as shards of annealed glass. And so tempered glass gets used in places where it would be especially dangerous to have the shards. So shower doors and picture windows, the backboards of basketball hoops, the side and rear windows of our cars. So Dia, would you stand there for me? This one's coming in from the top. So you're going to grab the handle, lift it up, and then give it a nice hard whack, please. And remember, there is a lot of stress in there. Hit it again. One more time real hard. Very good. So Dia's definitely hitting it hard. There's little chips flying off of there. Wouldn't we expect that to break easily, though? We saw there was a lot of stress in there. But there are a couple reasons why it won't break easily, and one of them has to do with the shape. So you'll notice that's basically an egg shape. And we don't think about eggs being strong because we crack them easily. But if you try to crush an egg just by squeezing it, you'll find that eggs are hard to crush. That oval shape does have a lot of strength to it. But more specific to our demo is the compression and tension story one more time. So think about the bubble. It was hot. It was cooling fast in the air. The surface cools and shrinks. It's going to lock in place. And then you've got the inside, which is cooling a little more slowly. And so when it's trying to finish shrinking, it just can't shrink as much as it wants to because the outside's hard already and it's holding it stretched out. The inside surface of that bubble ends up like a rubber band, pulled as tight as it'll go. It's locked in place, tension stress on the inside, but so strong with compression on the outside, we can pound on that thing with a hammer all day. We're not going to be able to break it. But we like breaking things here. And so I turned it around with the open end to the top. And Dia, do you think that you could break it with this piece of wire? Maybe you want to try it. We're going to thread it into the open end this time. So you take hold of it here. This time you're not going to hit it, you're just going to drop it, okay? So from right there, drop. There's the illustration of the tension stress. It's so tight in there with tension, it is just trying to let the stress go. And so the tap with the needle inside the bubble releases the stress and breaks it into a lot of pieces, and that is the end of that Bologna vial. And it's the end of the demo. So let's have a nice round of applause for Dia. Good job. There's a little elephant for you to take home.